and Charlie Kirk. Your referee is Simon Mather, who officiated the 2021 National League Playoff Final at Ashton Gate as he blows his whistle to get us underway. His assistants, Michael Burrows and Stephen Rushworth. The fourth official is Jack Forder-Hay, as Scunthorpe United will be attacking from left to right towards the south stand in this first half in their traditional claret shirts with blue sleeves, blue shorts with claret trim and claret socks with blue trim. Altrincham in their away strip, inspired by the kit that they wore at Tottenham Hotspur in the FA Cup third round back in 1995. The black shirts with yellow diagonal lines, yellow shorts with black trim and black socks, as the visitors have a throw down the left, which is met by a Scunthorpe header of Carl Hurst. Altrincham try and nod it out of their own half through Jimmy Knowles. Brandon Horton hoofs it back into Altrincham territory. Neither side able to keep hold of the ball at the moment, as Zane Westbrook wins a throw for his team. We'll bring in your expert summaries in a moment here on BBC Radio Humberside Sports, as Leo Farrell can't hold it up high up the park, and Altrincham will attempt to bring it away through Humbles, but he hasn't succeeded in doing so. He is Carl Hurst, gets past his man, drives towards the penalty area, crosses in towards the back post, no one there. Tyler Denton will keep it alive. A minute gone, goalless thus far. Denton pulls it back to Joe Rowley, crosses in right-footed, takes a deflection on the way through, and it's lumped over the crossbar by Isaac Marriott. Out for a corner kick. Steve Torpey, the former Scunthorpe United striker, what have you thought of the opening 90 seconds?
Yeah, it's been really good play down this right hand side, getting the ball in the box, great ball in between the goalkeeper and the two centre halves, evaded everybody, but a bright start, and I think they're going to go a little bit more direct, Scunthorpe, with a 4-4-2 formation this afternoon.
Corner kick from the left then. Andrew Boyce is up from the back, it's whipped in right footed. That's a poor delivery, flicked on by Brandon Horton though, tries to make something out of nothing, comes out to Starbuck from 25 yards. His long range effort is blocked. Westbrook onto the rebound, drives over to the right hand side, knocks a pass back to Joe Starbuck, who crosses in from deep, header out of the Altrincham box. It comes to Tyler Denton, 2 minutes played now, still goalless here at Glanford Park. Westbrook forced back towards the halfway line and retreats back to his goalkeeper Lewis Jones. Does look as if it's Sam Reid pushed up at left wing. Perhaps Humbles is playing more of a midfield role in the centre of the park. Altrincham go long. Jimmy Knowles will chase it down, backs into Andrew Boyce, who wins the header and then hits it away on the volley. Tyler Denton will keep the ball in play, flicks inside to Joe Rowley. That's a poor pass from the midfielder. Knowles is onto it, right hand channel, crosses in. Lucas Weaver was unmarked. Andrew Boyce slides in there to boot it out. Ball bouncing around in midfield. Humbles flicks it back to Crawford, the captain. Now it's out on the far side with Altrincham. Played forward to Knowles, who will hold it up away from Tahir. Forced out wide, he goes down, no free kick given. Scunthorpe will bring it away. Joe Rowley gets away with that errant pass. Whitehall into Westbrook, now it's Tahir, midway inside his own half. Skims the ball down the left hand side. It's too long for Leo Farrell to get onto, but that's a poor touch from Josh Grant, and Farrell does get onto the ball, swoops it across to Rowley. Nice little cute back heel to Westbrook, finds Hurst 20 yards out. His effort denied by Sam Reid, and Altrincham will clear away from the edge of their own penalty area, but they're being pinned in at the moment. As I say, that Leo Farrell commits a foul, trying to win a ball 25 yards from goal, and Altrincham have a free kick.
Yes, it's a lively start from both teams, both going relatively direct. I just think with this formation they need to get balls in the box. You've got Danny Whitehall and Leo Farrell up there, good size, and I think that'd be the aim this afternoon, to get as many balls in the box as much as they can in that attacking third of the pitch.
Scunthorpe United clear the ball away. I'll run you through that Altrincham lineup in a moment, as it's at the feet of Sam Reid at the moment. Slides the ball down the left hand side, but will run through to Louis Jones. So it's three centre halves. Jake Cooper on the right, Josh Grant in the middle, Eddie Jones on the left. Sam Reid is at left wing back, Tyler Golden at right wing back. Three central midfielders of Tom Crawford, the captain, Isaac Marriott and Liam Humbles, and then Lucas Weaver with Jimmy Knowles up top. Carl Hurst pummels it back to Joe Starbuck. 1-2 between him and Zane Westbrook. Starbuck will dig out a cross. Josh Grant, a former Chelsea youngster, deals with it. It's brought down by Sam Reid. Flicks it back to Eddie Jones, who's returns to the Robins earlier this season. And Isaac Marriott will hit that away. Slices it forward with the outside of his right boot. Puts it into touch. Scunthorpe throw in. as we head towards the 5-minute mark here at Glanford Park. Starbuck hurled forward, allowed to bounce a couple of times. Whitehall flicks it onto his strike partner Leo Farrell, who hits it from the right hand side of the penalty area, and it'll be turned behind by Jake Cooper for a Scunthorpe corner.
Yeah, and straight away they are going more direct, going more central as well, with that likes of Roberts, that creative style. Probably go direct and narrow off the defence, and then that should open a little bit of space out in wide areas. But it's a bright start from Scunthorpe.
Carl Hurst with another corner kick, this time from the right hand side, but Simon Mather wants to call over a couple of players first at the far post. Danny Whitehall is one of them. He was beckoning players over, but now they've been pulled back into the penalty areas. It's dinked in by Hurst, and that's another poor dead ball in. Just dinked it straight out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and it's happened a couple of times. Joe Starbuck was in a great position down this right hand side, and it's the first man. You rather him over it and it runs out of play than under it, and then they attack. And it's very similar there. He's looking at the ground. We know what the pitch is like. It's not great. You just have to take care, make sure it's set up before you put that ball in the box. And he's scuffed that, and gives possession away in a really good, promising position.
Very early yellow card here for Brandon Horton in the 7th minute. A blatant pulling of the shirt of Liam Humbles right in front of referee Simon Mather, and in the 7th minute Brandon Horton is the first player to go into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, it's an early one, isn't it? Especially for a centre half. He needs to really watch his guard, but the referee's made his mark now, so he's going to have to be consistent throughout the 90 plus minutes.
Reid on the ball, attempts to burst past Joe Starbuck. Sam Reid, his first start since October for Altrincham, drifts inside, flicks in behind for Marriott to run onto, left hand side the penalty area, flashed across the face of goal, and Lewis Jones will collect it at his near right hand post, and he will volley it forward. Sees Tyler Denton springing up the park down the left, but Lewis Jones hasn't got the trajectory of that volley forward quite right. It'll bounce out of play for an Altrincham throw in on the far side.
Yeah, because he was trying to do there, trying to counter-attack. Took it really well with the cross in from the left-hand side. Just tried to do it a little bit early with Tyler Denton bombing on, but again, when they come off, they look brilliant. When they don't come off, looks a poor kick out. Sometimes just need to add that little bit of composure, pick and choose when you go direct and counter-attack.
Whitehall tries to cushion that throw back to a teammate and then miscontrols. It's out for an Altrincham throw, and the visitors only able to name 6 substitutes today. They've got 9 players out at the moment. Declan Howe, of course, ineligible. Anthony Ford, the latest out through injury. Ethan Ross, Lewis Banks, Billy Sass-Davis, Kean Breckin, Otis Khan and Charlie Olsen all sidelined. Dan Sassy is still suspended. They do have Tyler Golden back from his ban to start today. But Neil Gibson at the moment down to bare bones, but his side are in possession as they maraud over the halfway line through the captain Crawford, flicks into the path of Reid, one-on-one with Joe Starbuck just outside of the box, crosses in left-footed. Starbuck stands his ground, blocks the cross, but then fluffs his lines, and he sliced it out with the outside of his left boot for an Altrincham corner kick.
Yeah, done really well initially. The 1v1 defending, showing down the line, put the block on, and then he's kind of tried to smash it too hard with his laces. Got minimal contact. He's kind of squirmed off his outside of his foot for a corner. And that's that little bit of technique. Just get your side foot, get height and distance, get under the ball, and clear your lines. Just try to get too much power rather than the accuracy on that one.
Eddie Jones over the corner, as I mentioned, returned in December last year on a contract until the end of the National League season. Was a free agent in the summer, having suffered an ACL injury that required surgery last season, and he drives in the corner kick, hangs it up towards the back post, headed across the penalty area, hooked over the crossbar. First real chance of the game goes Altringham's way, and it's Lucas Weaver coming into the side, hooking his effort over the bar.
Yeah, it was a good header back, good corner, aimed for the far post, headed back. Yeah, number 17 just tried to get it down. It was a difficult chance, there's a lot of bodies in and around, but yeah, first real attempt on goal, that one.
Lewis Jones's goal kick, allowed to bounce once. Carl Hurst gets a head onto the ball, but it's Altrincham back in possession. As they spring up the park, Eddie Jones plays in Sam Reed just over the halfway line. Jinks back inside. Now it's at the feet of Isaac Marriott. Stumbles and loses the ball to Zane Westbrook. Farrell flicks it into the path of Whitehall. Now it's Hurst, 25 yards out, making his way into the penalty area. Stands up across towards the back post. Denton fluffs it. Whitehall denied on the goal line. And Altrincham clear their lines. It will come out to Tahir, who hits it from distance. And that's well over the crossbar.
Yeah, good play again. Great ball in from far post. I think it's Tyler Denton who didn't really hit it cleanly, but he went across the goal down to Danny Whitehall, bobbling, didn't get great contact on it, and last ditch defending, good defending, and just put a block on right on the line. So we're really unlucky. That is obviously the best chance of the game so far, and really that should have been a goal from Danny Whitehall. With his current run of form, he'd be a little bit frustrated not hitting the back of the net.
Yeah, Danny Whitehall, 5 goals in his last 3 games, 7 goals in 7. As Altrincham survive, thanks to the intervention on the goal line from Josh Grant, on loan from Carlisle United until the end of the campaign, and that's a poor pass from him out from the back. Concedes possession. Hurst pulls it back to Starbuck. Now it's Westbrook, first time ball forward to Hurst, turns it around the corner quickly to Starbuck on the right hand touchline. He delivers the ball in. Starbuck claiming it was blocked by the arm of Sam Reed, but the assistant referee's flag on this near side, Stephen Rushworth, his flag stays down, and it's another Scunthorpe United corner.
Yeah, a lot of play down this right hand side. Carl Hurst really having an influence on this game in the opening stages.
In comes the cross from the right, flicked on by Rowley, headed down into the ground by Andrew Boyce, I think, in the end, and the header is collected by Luke Hutchinson. Rolls out at the feet of Jake Cooper, goes back all the way into the penalty area to Luke Hutchinson. Played here last season on loan at Marine in the National League North at the start of the previous campaign in a 3-0 defeat, on loan from Bolton Wanderers. Jake Cooper will bring the ball out from the back, slides it over to his right hand side to Golden, arrows it down the channel. Knowles has got in behind Brandon Horton here and holds the ball up away from the iron defender, waits for support. Knowles gets it nicked off of him though. Who will get onto that loose ball first? It's Joe Rowley, slap bang on the left hand touchline, scurries inside but concedes possession to Humbles. Now it's at the feet of Tom Crawford, flicks it forward, comes back to Humbles, edge at the penalty area on the right, twists and turns away from Horton, looking for room to cross. In it will go from the right hand side, swung in. Starbuck will let it bounce into his path and he will burst forward, running at Sam Reed, looks up, will try and put that in behind for Whitehall to run onto. The number 9 may be slightly unhappy that that ball was delayed. Scunthorpe get the throw in the end. Starbuck forward from him, Grant should be able to deal with it and does, but falls back towards his own byline. Here is Eddie Jones back inside. That's a poor pass. Westbrook into the box, that's not great either. Altrincham will clear. First time ball smashed up to the halfway line. Andrew Boyce wins the header, drops to Sam Reed, could have gone down there. There was contact from Danny Whitehall, who was holding both of his arms up into the air to try and avoid conceding that free kick, but Reed maintained his footing and Altrincham play out from the back. They're over to the far side. It's swung forward to Weaver. That awkwardly bobbles up and balloons up off his chest, but he's managed to get free of a Scunthorpe sandwich and he gets the free kick.
Yeah, it's good hold up play from the Altrincham centre forward. Two Scunthorpe players around him, and he was in a sandwich. He managed to secure the ball, just got ball down as his turn to get away from both defenders. So it's good hold up play. Scunthorpe just need to be tired. They've just started going really brightly most of the ball.
Free kick taken quickly. Knowles is in behind here. Flag stays down for the moment, and then it goes up on the far side from the other assistant referee, Michael Burrows. Knowles not timing his run from the quickly taken free kick, and Scunthorpe have one for themselves inside their own penalty area, inside left channel.
Yeah, they've done that well on Tuesday evening. They held a good line, and that was typical, carrying on from Tuesday evening with the same back four. Just holding an early run from the Altrincham striker, and so just hold your line, and he drifts offside. He was probably about a yard off on that occasion.
Scunthorpe throw, down the left it goes. Whitehall backs into his man. The loose ball drops to Leo Farrell, who pounces on it, tries to sweep it over the top for Carl Hurst to run onto, but it's Luke Hutchinson's ball. And the Robins play out from the back again. It's with Sam Reid on the left-hand touchline, quickly pressed by Carl Hurst, but keeps the ball at his feet. Now Humbles in central midfield to Crawford. Will ping that forward out to the right-hand side. Denton wins the header, and it drops to Joe Rowley. Back to the Scunthorpe left-sided player, who has a bit of room to operate in at the moment. On the left, he will power a ball down that flank. Across comes Grant to put that over the top of the east stand opposite us. We'll need a new ball. It'll be a Scunthorpe throw when we get one. Tyler Denton picks it up off the red cone over on the far side. Throws it back to Tahir. Now it's Denton again. Here's Westbrook in possession, inside Altrincham territory, left of centre. Finds Farrell free, 25 yards out, middle of the park. Starbuck on the ball, trying to pirouette, and it's a nice idea to swing that out wide, but just caught Tyler Denton flat-footed, and it will trundle out for a throw.
Yeah, he's an interesting selection who's playing on that left-hand side, and we spoke about it prior to the game, didn't we, Oliver, in terms of the amount of players that have played there. Probably looking at least double figures out there throughout the season, you know, and why he's decided to play Tyler Denton instead of Connor Smith. I know Connor Smith got brought off at half-time, and slow coming back into the Scunthorpe United team, and obviously was here a couple of years ago, you know, made impact, but maybe a little bit of slow burner. But you'd think, again, it's interesting to see why he's playing Tyler Denton. I think it's more defensive minded, but more crossing. It is a 4-4-2, so they're playing out, so keeping their width rather than being inverted on this occasion.
Should say, in terms of Scunthorpe's other wide options, Aidan Doush is monitoring a tight knock. That's why he misses out, and Pat Jones makes the bench despite a foot injury suffered in midweek. Scunthorpe on the attack here. Westbrook plays in Denton, crosses in first time in towards the near post, claimed well by Luke Hutchinson, with Leo Farrell steaming in there. Hutchinson in a lime green goalkeeping kit, pretty fluorescent one, rolls out of his own penalty area. Eddie Jones into Reid. Now here's Humbles on the front foot, driving at that iron back line, feeds into Weaver, angle of the penalty area, left-footed cross comes in, it ricochets in between him and Andrew Boyce, and the Scunthorpe skipper will clear from the byline. It comes out to Marriott. Now it's Reid. Eddie Jones on the overlap, but Reid will cross in. Boyce stoops to head away once more. Marriott will try again as that awkwardly bobbles off his shin. Possession with Josh Grant at the moment, the Altrincham centre-half. Now it's Reid, and he thought he had a runner down the left-hand side there. Eddie Jones had decided to stay back on that occasion, and Sam Reid gifts Scunthorpe a cheap throw.
Yeah, weren't on the same wavelength there. The full-back, kind of expected him to go on the overlap, played in as a kind of a blind pass, didn't really look, and Scunthorpe gets a throw in. Can they build? As I say, I've been quite impressed with Scunthorpe. I like the system. It seems they understand it. It's kind of basic, and everyone knows their roles and responsibilities within this system, this 4-4-2 system. Denton,
Whitehall scoops over the top into Farrell. Will it bounce kindly for the centre forward? No, it won't. Jake Cooper deals with it, and Marriott will play out from the edge of the D, but only finds Zane Tahir with that forward ball. Tahir to Whitehall, lays it back off to Rowley, or at least attempts to do so. The ball ricocheted off the referee in the process, Simon Mather, like a pinball, and it'll be stopped. Wonder what it'll give. I think Altrincham were coming forward there, so I'd suspect it'll be a drop ball for the visitors.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the rules now, really. I'm not up to date. I should be up to date with the rules, but they were in good position, Altrincham. I don't know why he just didn't let that flow.
I think he's got to stop it.
He's got to stop it. If it comes
off the referee,
yeah,
they've got to stop play.
Okay.
Alty, forward. Doesn't sound quite right for me saying that as a southerner, nor Scunny either, so I'll stick to the other nicknames. Mm-hmm. But the visitors have a throw, and it'll be over on the far side. Tyler Golden, who spent a fair amount of his childhood living out in the United States, in South Carolina. Ipswich born, spent a year or so in the academy of the Tractor Boys with his brother, and here is Golden on the ball again, cuts inside, or at least attempts to, under pressure from Tyler Denton, forced backwards to Jake Cooper. Now it's Josh Grant on the ball, into Cooper again, a couple of yards behind the halfway line. Now it's Humbles, whips that back to Grant once more. He'll play it across to his left-sided centre-half Eddie Jones. Grant again, pulling the strings as that main centre-back. He goes long on this occasion. Horton will clear. Farrell touches it on. Here is Rowley. Room to run into. He's got Denton ghosting around behind. Denton continues his run into the penalty area, but still with Rowley. He's not far away from finding the bottom corner. His effort slides wide of the left-hand post from 18 yards. Still 0-0.
Yeah, great play from Joe Rowley. Just received it, half turn. Space opened up in front of him. Took another touch. Because he was trying to do just curl it with a little bit of pace with his right foot to the Altrincham goal, far post, and I don't know if it come off the post or it may have come off the green long post behind, but a really good effort and probably inches wide.
Sam Reed back to Isaac Marriott. Did well to take that pass on the half turn. 20 minutes played. You're listening to BBC Radio Humberside Sport, your 5th big match commentary of the afternoon. We've already had 4 3 o'clock kickoffs. Defeats for Hull City and Grimsby Town in the football. Hull Kingston Rovers through in the Challenge Cup 4th round, but Hull FC out. And at the moment we're watching Scunthorpe United against Altrincham in the National League. Goalless thus far on all frequencies as well as online via BBC Sounds, and that is not the greatest throw-in routine from Altrincham. Josh Grant puts it straight out of play and it's Scunthorpe's ball. To here, wriggles away from the press of Jimmy Knowles and will try and clip a pass down the left-hand side. It's deflected out as Scunthorpe United inch forward down that left-hand flank. To here will take the throw-in again. Another start for him in the National League. That throw-in is headed straight back out of play by Jake Cooper. So still they edge forward to the iron. Down the left to here. Into Rowley. Now the Sheffield United Loney gets it back. Still going is to here. Towards the byline. Tries to deliver the cross. Sliding in there is Tyler Golden to pull it out for another Scunthorpe corner.
Yeah, good positive play from Tahir. To get his crossing, good tackle and forced the corner. But again, we said that about getting the play down the wide areas and getting the width to create those crosses into the box.
Carl Hurst has got to conjure up something a bit better here. Right footed, it'll be flicked on at the near post by Rowley, headed out of the 6-yard area. It'll bounce on the edge of the box for Westbrook to collect. Starbuck on the ball, back into Westbrook. Room to drive into the penalty area. Stands up across, headed out to Starbuck, 25 yards from goal, and he just got his outside of his right foot caught underneath that effort as it sails over the crossbar.
Yeah, and again, good play from Westbrook down this right-hand side. So once you get into those areas, do you zip it in on the floor? Do you hang it up? Do you put it back? Those kind of decision-making in those areas. Smashed it across. It's good defending. They were marking all those zonal areas, Altrincham, and defended it really well there.
Scunthorpe get the ball straight back from that Altrincham goal kick. Westbrook into Andrew Boyce, scampering across defence to receive that pass. Starbuck, I think that ball was meant for Boyce, but it'll travel through to Lewis Jones, well out of his own penalty area, about 5 yards outside of the centre circle as he goes diagonal from right to left, headed out from the back by Jake Cooper. To here will bring the ball under control on that left-hand touchline. Now it's Westbrook into Andrew Boyce inside the centre circle as they move laterally from left to right. Starbuck into Westbrook, swings that forward first time. Hurst with the run around the back, through on goal. Hurst is kept out by Luke Hutchinson. Altrincham, though, can't prevent the corner kick.
Yeah, what a great ball from Westbrook. Just dinked it over the centre half's head or fullback's head. It was a spinning run onto the goal. I thought he was just going to take a shot earlier. It dropped down and that just given the opportunity for the Altrincham defender to get his body in there and just put a block on the shot. I know he's spinning, it was a difficult pitch, but just that sharpness in and around the box can make the difference.
Hurst again with this latest dead ball delivery. It's another tame effort. Isaac Marriott comfortably deals with it. Hurst will get another bite of the cherry here. Crosses in, Marriott once more blocks, scuffs his pass and it falls to Joe Rowley, who just couldn't bring that under control. Humbles will bring it out of the penalty area, but he's swarmed by claret and blue shirts. Reed down the line, optimistically, be intercepted by Joe Starbuck, who will swing that back up the park. Header out from the Altrincham defence by Eddie Jones. It will come to Sam Reed, who sidesteps the press of Zane Westbrook from the left-hand touchline. Finds Jimmy Knowles, who cuts inside. The ball played into Crawford inside the centre circle. He's got room to maraud into. 30 yards from goal. I think got caught in two minds there as to whether to shoot or whether to stand the ball up into the Scunthorpe box. Didn't do either, and it's a goal kick for the hosts.
Yeah, I don't know if it hit a bobble there. He kind of completely got under the ball, and it went more like a conversion than a shot on goal. Like you say, Ollie, I think he was in two minds whether to cross it or shoot, and he done neither.
From the goal kick then, Whitehall gets a whisker of a touch on the ball. It'll come to Joe Rowley, flicked on first time by Tyler Denton. Leo Farrell has got in behind Cooper, left hand side of the penalty area, swings it across the box. It was too far in front of Danny Whitehall and too far behind Carl Hurst, and Altrincham are able to whack it away. Knowles, good hold up play from him, and he'll just slow play down a touch. Will the visitors, they go back into defence. It's at the feet of Josh Grant, who played for Bristol Rovers when they thumped Scunthorpe United 7-0 back in 2022 to go up on the final day of the League 2 season on goals scored. Controversial afternoon, that one, nearly 4 years ago at the Memorial. Cooper drives the ball towards the centre circle. Westbrook will cut it out. It's at the feet of Danny Whitehall. 30 yards out, inside right channel, lays it off to Westbrook. Westbrook finds Tyler Denton free. Here's on the overlap. Denton will cross in from deep. Dealt with well by Eddie Jones. Just stuck out a left leg, stretched as much as he could to put that out for a throw. 25 minutes played at Glanford Park. Still awaiting the opening goal in this one. Scunthorpe United 0, Altrincham 0. Whitehall flicks into the box for Farrell to run on to. Ball rebounds to Whitehall, digs out across towards the back post. Important header away that from Tom Crawford as Rowley was over his shoulder, ready to head home. Scunthorpe corner. Yeah,
Danny Whitehall done really well. He was like a sound wedge or pitching wedge, just got right under the post. But if Joe Rowley was another 3 or 4 inches taller, probably would have had a more better opportunity to score, but good position and a great little dink from Danny Whitehall there. Unlucky not to score.
Interestingly, it's going to be Tyler Denton to take the corner, hangs it up into the box, headed down to Whitehall, who lofts it towards goal. Another header away on the goal line. Crawford will nod it further clear. Starbuck arrows it out to the left. Denton just has to power that on first time, and he gets onto it, crosses in once more, and it's Hutchinson who leaps up into the air to grab, and then he'll roll it out to his left hand side. Reed, Crawford on that left hand touchline. Here is the Altrincham captain into Humbles. Now it's Isaac Marriott on the ball. Marriott into Jake Cooper, and now here's Josh Grant. Eddie Jones once more in possession, and Crawford, the captain, shields the ball away from Zane Westbrook and swings it across to Jake Cooper, who's got a bit more room to operate in. Golden fires it down the right hand side. So here is there first. It's a heavy touch, but he manages to keep the ball in play and clears. Farrell onto it, but it's a heavy first touch that Josh Grant is able to cut out. Altringham's ball again. They have it inside the centre circle in their own half with Crawford. Now Cooper pumps that upfield. Knowles is making a run round the back, but Deere had enough pace to cover at left back. Shields the ball right on the left hand touchline, and he's somehow managed there to get a tiny little flick off of Jimmy Knowles to win the throw.
Yeah, it was good defending. He really in a tight position facing his own goal, managed to manipulate the ball with the outside of his right foot and get deflection to get a throw in down that left hand side.
From it though, Altrincham have got it back, but Jimmy Knowles is wrestled out of possession by the Scunthorpe United midfield. Horton, long, in behind that Altrincham back line, but they'll let it run through to goalkeeper Hutchinson, who bowls it out with plenty of power and vigour to Reed. Now it's Crawford with Westbrook over his shoulder. Reed on the ball again on that left-hand touchline, pinned by Carl Hurst, and he's given possession away. Westbrook can't make the most of it. Altrincham have it back. Marriott, signed on Christmas Eve back in 2021, gives the ball back to his defence, and they'll play out through Cooper. Here's Marriott once more, tries to swing that forward first time. Shut out by Rowley. Scunthorpe's ball not for long as Farrell flicks it into the face of Marriott, and played in behind here is Weaver, but immediately, as soon as that ball's slipped through, the flag goes up for offside, and it's a Scunthorpe free kick.
Yeah, and a little bit higher up the pitch this time, but again a real tight line within the back four, really compact. And I think that was a little bit closer. but he was still offside, 6-7 inches offside.
Starbuck will try another cross from deep. It'll fall to Farrell, who's barged over Eddie Jones in getting to that ball. Altrincham free kick inside their own penalty area. 2 other 5:30 kickoffs in the National League today. Rochdale, the leaders, 1-0 up away at Eastleigh through Manny Diessere's goal in the 16th minute. It's currently goalless between Morecambe and Braintree Town. A big game at the bottom of the division, that one. Both those sides level on 34 points. Morecambe above Braintree on goal difference in 21st. Goalless between those two. Goalless here as well as we head up towards the half-hour mark between Scunthorpe United and Altrincham. Farrell shields the ball away from Josh Grant. Now here's Hurst scampering forward, has got plenty of black shirts around him, but he's ran into a bit of room, tries to put a cross in the Altrincham box across the face of goal, but it takes a deflection on the way through, takes the sting out of the cross. It's Hutchinson's ball and he will volley it forward into Scunthorpe territory. Boyce backpedaling, gets away with that as he plays a pass across to his centre-back partner Brandon Horton. Starbuck clears, it's put out for a throw by Crawford. Starbuck hurls it down that right-hand channel, but it's headed away by Eddie Jones for Altrincham. Now it's Crawford into Marriott, has Joe Rowley in close quarters, but he beats the midfielder and finds Humbles, who drives forward with the ball at his feet into Knowles. Did well to bring that under control quite awkwardly with a cute little back heel, and exchanges a 1-2 with Isaac Marriott. Marriott drifts over to the right-hand side, inside right channel at the moment, but he's being forced back towards the halfway line by the press of Zane Westbrook. And Altrincham still on the ball, but in defence at the moment, as it's worked from right to left and then back into the middle to Josh Grant. Ball inside the centre circle at the moment as it makes its way over the halfway line to Jake Cooper. Now Tyler Golden at right wing back for Altrincham on the touchline, being forced backwards with Tyler Denton hustling and harrying, and Scunthorpe have won it back. Farrell making his way forward, does well to get the throw.
Yeah, I think they've worked really well up front. I know they've not had a lot of combination played, that Danny Whitehall and Leo Farrell, but both working a little bit in isolation, but they're doing a good job defensively as well. So, and they're sharing the workload. So I think it's good signs. I've been relatively impressed. It's probably the most crosses that I've seen in, especially the first half an hour of the game. There's been numerous crosses. They just need to gamble on the odd occasion. There's balls going in and around the 6-yard box, not taking a gamble. There's not been enough bodies in there to read that situation.
Tahir attempting to run onto a flick forward from Leo Farrell. It will bounce out for an Altrincham goal kick, and Isaac Marriott has gone down just on the edge of the D of the Altrincham box. The physio will be brought on. Some of the Scunthorpe players making their way over for drinks, and I think the Altrincham outfield players will do the same. 0-0. 32 and a half minutes played exactly here at Glanford Park. Goalless between Scunthorpe United and Altrincham in the National League. At half-time in this game, we'll bring you some post-match reaction to our 4 big match commentaries earlier across the football and the rugby league. Defeats for Hull City in the Championship and Grimsby Town in League 2. Old Kingston Rovers through in the Challenge Cup thanks to a big win at Huddersfield Giants, but Hull FC out after losing away at Lee Leopards. And Isaac Marriott is still being treated here. So Steve Torpey, what have you made of the opening half an hour or so?
I think it's been pretty good, to be fair. I think it's a lot more energetic. They seem to know what they're doing. They've got the 2 strikers up front, relatively big strikers. They've tried to hit them on a lot of the occasions in wide areas, so they're working the ball out to the wingers and then the fullbacks, especially down this right hand side. And then what they're doing is trying to put balls in the box. I think they've been a little bit unlucky not to get on the end of one or two. They've had a couple of occasions and they've had opportunities, I think, rather than Altrincham. They've had really restricted them to very little.
Isaac Marriott has been treated. Will be okay to continue, but will need to leave the field for 30 seconds or so. So Altrincham temporarily down to 10. The game will resume with a goal kick for the visitors, who are being cheered on by the travelling supporters to our right hand side in the south stand, who look to be having a pretty decent time of things at the moment. perhaps making the only real substantial noise in the stadium at the moment. As Luke Hutchinson will place the ball down, ready to take this goal kick. From the left-hand side of his 6-yard area, as he's given the hurry up by referee Simon Mather. Right-footed, strikes it forward. Horton with the header on, back into the Robins half. It's held up by Leo Farrell, pulls it back to Joe Starbuck, a couple of yards behind the halfway line. Farrell has dropped short to receive the subsequent pass, and he arrows it in towards the penalty area, but that's a lovely cushioned header back from Tyler Golden to his goalkeeper Luke Hutchinson, and the attack comes to nothing. Altrincham will play out from the back again here with Eddie Jones. Isaac Marriott still waiting to come on at present, and he's given a signal by the referee. He almost didn't see it there, but thankfully the fourth official was alert, and he waves the midfielder back onto the field of play, and he'll join this Altrincham attack. Down the right hand side with Weaver, one-on-one with Zayn Tahir, gets it onto his right foot, tries to cross from the byline, and Tahir has touched it out. I think initially the assistant on the far side gave a corner, but it's been overruled by his referee, Steve Torpey. Goal kick. It looked like Tahir had blatantly stabbed that out of play to me.
Yeah, I agree. The referee's assistant flagged for a corner, and then within the space of a second he changed his mind and give a goal kick. But for me, yeah, it looked like a corner. It kind of just toe poked out of play.
Altrincham unfortunate there, but not too many protests from the visitors in the end, as it's swung forward from the back by Cooper. Knowles will chase it down. Was part of the Boston United side that won here on penalties in 2024 as part of winning promotion to the National League via the playoffs. Grant on the ball, looks left, looks right, then plays a pass to his teammate Cooper. Now it's Tyler Golden, wriggles away from Tyler Denton, back to Cooper. Altrincham retreat back to their goalkeeper Hutchinson, and they'll try again, this time from the left hand side of the box with Eddie Jones, but that pass is too short. Starbuck intercepts it, and he's clipped by Sam Reed. Scunthorpe free kick. Andy Butler and John Schofield perhaps wanting a yellow card there, but it will just be the set piece for Scunthorpe. Yeah,
it was good pressing, wasn't it? They kind of set some triggers for the goalkeeper to pass out. It's gone back to try to switch it. And Joe Starbuck really on his front foot there, really pressing, high intensity pressing, and especially on this pitch, I think that's what you've got to do that, because on occasions it will hit a bobble and force mistakes. He was unlucky if he never got brought down there. He was on his way and potentially a goal scoring opportunity, but good play and setting those triggers is really crucial on this pitch.
Zane Westbrook will take the free kick on this occasion. It's a one-man wall for Altrincham of Sam Reed, about 5 yards away from the left-hand corner of the penalty area. The Robins holding a defensive line just on the edge of their own box at the moment, as Westbrook will take the free kick from 5 yards in front of the right-hand touchline. Simon Mather blows his whistle. Westbrook drives it in right to left, headed across the box by Boyce. Farrell with the header towards goal, and it's caught under the crossbar by Luke Hutchinson.
Yeah, and that's where you think Scunthorpe are going to get a little bit of joy. You'd like to think that one of these crosses, or even if it's not the first contact, maybe the second contact, a bit like that one, that could result in a goal this afternoon.
Hutchinson will clear away from inside his own 6-yard box. Horton wins a header, but it'll fall kindly to Crawford here, who bursts in front of his marker to chest that down and continue his run up the park. Plays in Golden down the right hand side. The cross is blocked, ricochets between the right wing back into here, and it's out for a Scunthorpe goal kick.
That's better defending. We spoke about the goal on Tuesday, where Tahir kind of just let the ball go in the box. I know it still had a lot to do, the striker, but if you can stop it at source and people you see that and you put the block on, so it's good defending, much better than Tuesday.
Hurst heads the ball on, but it will be picked up by Sam Reed for Altrincham. The visitors looking for their first ever win at Glanford Park. They did win at the old showground back in 1980 in an FA Cup second round replay. That's the second time they've knocked the iron out of the FA Cup, the first in 1974. And Altrincham still have the ball at the back here with Jake Cooper into Golden. Almost finds Humbles with that pass, but he's knocked off of it, but Westbrook gives possession up to Marriott. Now it's at the feet of Knowles, driving forward down that right-hand side, crosses in, it's a tame delivery. Horton gets there first and boots it out of his own box, but it's Altringham's ball again here with Marriott. Circles back towards the halfway line. Now it's Grant in the centre circle, sweeps it across first time to the left-sided centre-half Eddie Jones, who will whip that forward. Crawford holds it up, lays it off to Sam Reed. He will deliver that crossing. Weaver's onto it, and he's tucked it home past Lewis Jones. Weaver's first goal since December, coming into the starting lineup, and he puts Altrincham ahead. Sam Reed with the cross, not the most convincing of deliveries, but Weaver ghosting in behind his marker, and he tucks that in between the legs of Lewis Jones first time. And in the 40th minute, it's Scunthorpe United 0, Altrincham 1.
Far too easy, wasn't it? Again, down this left-hand side, and he had so much space and time. There was like acres of space. No defenders was around him. I have to have a look at this, but I was more fixated down this left-hand side, and you'd imagine at least one defender to get within close proximity of Weaver, but it's far too easy, and he's just side-footed under Lewis Jones' body and into the empty net. But again, all the play that we spoke about results in nothing unless you put the ball in the net and defend the other way. And again, a bit like Tuesday, wasn't it? It was a goal out of nothing, completely out of the blue. And they need to defend better. It's poor goal to give away.
5 minutes of normal time to go at the end of this first half. If you're just listening in on BBC Radio Humberside Sports, Altrincham have the lead 1-0 up here at Scunthorpe United in the National League as Horton clears. And Altringham's away record, admittedly this season not the best. Did win for the first time in 7 league games on their last away outing, but they have only taken, prior to today, 12 points from their 17 league games away from Moss Lane. 1-3, drawn 3, lost 11. But ahead here, through Lucas Weaver's goal. Reed on the ball, having provided the assist. Forced backwards to Eddie Jones. And now it's at the feet of the goalkeeper, Luke Hutchinson, as red smoke fills the air to our right-hand side. A flare having been let off among the travelling supporters in the south stand. Unfortunately, wasn't thrown onto the pitch, so we were back underway pretty promptly following that opening goal. Horton arrows a ball forward. It will be headed back into Scunthorpe territory and picked up by Humbles. Played into the centre circle. Hurst gets there first, but it's a heavy touch that will collide through to Knowles. Now Golden at right wing back for the Robins. Into Marriott, bang on halfway on the inside right channel. Finds Eddie Jones with a pass across the halfway line. Now it's Sam Reed on the ball, right in front of us, pinned to this left-hand touchline. He just effortlessly drives into space past Joe Starbuck, who gives away the free kick and cuts a pretty exasperated figure. Altrincham free kick.
Yeah, it just looks like he's lacking in confidence, Joe Starbuck. On occasions in possession, out of possession. Going back a few weeks, he was really on it. High intensity pressing. Just seems like he's lacking in a little bit of confidence. There's only one way to get that confidence back. You need to knuckle down, work hard, get a little bit tight. He's got pace to burn. Stop those distances for where the wide players can build up ahead of steam.
Free kick from in front of the left-hand touchline. Eddie Jones curls it in. Beautiful delivery that, and Tom Crawford just couldn't leap high enough to direct that goalwards. Comes off the side of his head and goes out for a Scunthorpe throw level with the 6-yard area. Yeah,
it was a good ball in. He just got under the ball, didn't he? He tried to attack it. His time was just slightly off, but he got in front of the Scunthorpe defender and again just mistimed his header.
Behind on the attack here with Joe Rowley. Scampering from left to right, slides a ball into the feet of Carl Hurst, pings it back to Joe Starbuck. Now it's Rowley again, twists it forward first time, but without any kind of direction, and Altrincham put it straight down the other end. They find goal scorer Lucas Weaver, right hand side of the box, hammers it towards goal, but it's high and wide.
Yeah, he's got a little taste for it now. He scored his first goal and 1v1 situation, so it would have been a hell of a shot and strike to score from that corner, but all of a sudden started to build up a little bit of confidence now. Altrincham scoring that first goal and actually leading 1-0. Scunthorpe need to get a goal, and Andy Butler may adjust and change things slightly second half, but I don't think it's been too bad. I think it's just a goal that obviously changes games and changes mindset.
And at the moment, Scunthorpe United's cushion to the sides outside the playoff spots is disappearing. Halifax Town and Southend United both won today, as did Hartlepool United away at Truro City. So Scunthorpe's gap to Southend in 8th is currently just 6 points. As we've got 15 seconds left of normal time to go at the end of this first half. 2 balls on the field, I think. So Scunthorpe throw in the end. And it'll be taken by Zane Tahir, midway inside his own half on the left-hand side. It's forced a touch backwards by referee Simon Mather. Will take a big run up here as he rifles it down the left. Whitehall holds it up away from his marker, Jake Cooper, but then concedes possession. Joe Rowley will try and win it back, but has given away a free kick in the process, and Rowley has to be a touch careful. This game, once it's concluded, I think will mark the cut-off point. Joe Rowley on 9 yellow cards.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit of frustration kicking in there. He's to calm down, conceding that goal. I think they played relatively well, Scunthorpe, and dominated most of this first half, but just don't let them lose their heads and start giving away free kicks and getting frustrated, and like you say, picking up another yellow card, which would put him out in the next game, or the game on Saturday.
4th official Jack Forder Hay did have his board out, his LED board, but then has disappeared. But as you just hear, confirmation over the PA system, a minimum of 3 minutes of additional time at the end of this first half. We've already played 1 of the 3. Altrincham smack it away. It bounces a couple of times but stays in play down the right hand side. It will be knocked out though for a Scunthorpe throw. To here once again forced backwards by the referee with this latest throw in. Down the left he goes. Header flicked up into the air by Crawford. Denton flicks it into Whitehall, who will slide that in behind. Farrell can't beat Jake Cooper to the ball, and Altrincham play out from the back. Marriott swings it across to Sam Reid. It's an awkward first touch, but he keeps the ball at his feet, away from Carl Hurst. 1-2 between him and Eddie Jones, and then Reid lets down his previous endeavours. That ball awkwardly coming off the instep of his left peg, and he's put it out for a throw-in. Starbuck takes it. Farrell ducks underneath it. Josh Grant clears. Scunthorpe's ball again with Westbrook. Sidesteps a challenge from Humbles. Picks out Horton with the pass, who plays it into here to run onto. To here to Denton over on the far side. It comes back to Zane Westbrook. Has to flick that over the top. Didn't have much time with an Altrincham player closing in, and Scunthorpe give up the ball and give Altrincham a throw. "30 seconds left of normal time at the end of this first half. We'll be handing you back to James Hogarth shortly. He'll be recapping today's action earlier on this afternoon here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Scunthorpe United 0, Altrincham 1 in our final commentary of the day. Rowley is dispossessed by Humbles, who will play that through, but the flag once again goes up, this time against Jimmy Knowles. Another Scunthorpe free kick, and this may well be the last action of this first half. Indeed it is. Simon Mather blows his whistle. A few boos, but fairly meek ones from the Doncaster Road end. Half-time score, Scunthorpe United 0, Altrincham 1. The only goal of the game thus far coming in the 40th minute through Lucas Weaver. Put into the starting lineup, and he scored his first goal for Altrincham since December. A cross in from the left-hand side from Sam Reid, who wasn't closed down. Weaver ghosting in behind his marker, and he slots the ball beneath Lewis Jones into the back of the net. Steve Torpey, what have you made of that first half?
I think Andy Butler would have been really quite pleased with the performance. I don't think it was a poor performance. I think they've dominated, got the ball in wide areas, was the game plan with the 4-4-2 formation, put lots of crosses in the box. A little bit unlucky not to get on first contact, and definitely second contact. And then out of the blue, go down the other end, down Scunthorpe's right hand side, Altringham's left hand side. Good little bit of play, but ball into the box. It wasn't even a great cross, but there was no defenders in and around Weaver, who just simply tapped it into underneath Jones's body. So disappointing, because what needs is that one lapse of concentration, and they've conceded a goal. So I don't think it'd be frustrated and annoyed with the goal, but I think there's signs there that we can come back into this game.
Second half commentary to come on all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies, as well as online via BBC Sounds on the website and the app. As we hand you back to James Hogarth on BBC Radio Humberside Sports. Half time here at Glanford Park. It's Scunthorpe United 0, Altrincham 1.
So after the disappointment of our 3 o'clock games, more disappointment so far here on BBC Radio Humberside. Scunthorpe United 1-0 down at half-time at Glanford Park. In your third and final commentary of the day, Ollie and Steve back with you shortly for second half commentary. We will reflect in a few minutes' time on the games already played that have seen defeats for Hull City and for Grimsby Town. But Old Kingston Rovers are through to the quarter-finals of the Challenge Cup, while Hull FC are out, beaten at Lee. Post-match reaction on the way soon.
Carla Green.
What are your thoughts on all this?
Asking all the important questions.
What do you think of that? How did it come about? Do you think we've done enough? What will happen next?
Getting to the heart of the matter.
We was in our room, then we heard a bang.
Oh my goodness.
It was the most scary thing ever.
I love going on the pier. The big skies, the sunsets and the sunrises.
Oh wow.
That's why we're taking it out to the public and asking them.
I actually enjoyed writing it. Never thought anything would come of it.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Even if you've got no idea what's going on, people are getting involved.
Carla Green.
Weekday mornings from 10.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Humberside. Getting you closer to your club. BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
So, reaction to our games already played shortly. Let me bring you the latest scores from games underway in the Premier League. Arsenal and Everton goalless at half-time, but Newcastle lead at Chelsea by a 1-0. Anthony Gordon with the goal for the Magpies. Meanwhile, games in the National League currently underway this evening. There are 3, not just Scunthorpe United, who are 1-0 down at home to Altrincham. In the other games, Rochdale lead at Eastleigh, the leaders by a 0-0, and the game between Morecambe and Braintree is goalless at half-time. Of course, Scunthorpe United are 1-0 down at home to Weaver's goal against Altrincham. Second half commentary with Ollie and Steve Torpey on the way shortly. Let's reflect on the games already played. So Hull City suffered a damaging 3-0 defeat at West Brom, who were second from bottom of the Championship going into today. To make matters worse, captain Louis Coyle suffered a further injury to his problematic ankle. He's now wearing a protective boot. Mike White talked to head coach Sergei Yakirovich.
Well, we can say like this, especially after first goal. It is very, very funny goal, and also red card. So this is a lack of concentration, technical mistake. And so after Charlie made a foul, so we can discuss about it's a red card, because this player who deserve a foul, it's clear foul. He gave long pass, so Ivor was there. So I don't know. We must see again situation, but no matter, they entered very well in the game, very aggressive, first, second ball, in possession they press us a lot, we struggled there, and also we had a few good transitions, good few chances. We didn't score through Ollie, and also West Brom has had also. And then after a red card, it was very difficult to create something. Our plan was that we stay compact, and then maybe if they will miss or pass, or we will take the ball in the middle, that we have fast transition. But I can say towards the end of the game we played okay. It was not easy to create chance against us, but on the end they used these two chances. They scored 2 goals. So we gave everything today, and I can say a bit in the office, but maybe lack of energy, lack of concentration cost us today a better result.
I'll go through a few of the incidents, and I'll come back to the sending off in a second. Why were you having such a difficult time down your left-hand side, their right?
It's about individual quality. The right fullback, he was very in the mood today. He played a very good game, and also we sit too much back down. It was not our plan that we are sitting so back. It's always front foot that we are fullback on fullback, and also our Kumas and Joffo that they try control their 6 in the midfield. But also I knew that they have quality. This is not a real picture of West Bromwich, this position on the table points, and also they're fighting for relegation. So they brought a lot of energy on the pitch, and this is the reason why we lost today.
Sergei Kirovic's reflections on Hull City's 3-0 defeat at West Bromwich Albion. Remember, West Brom were second from bottom at the start of the day, and Louis Coyle has left the Hawthorns tonight with a protective boot, further damage to his already problematic ankle. Grimsby Town's playoff hopes have been dented. The Mariners were beaten 1-0 at Oldham. Boss David Artell speaking to Matt Dean.
Obviously a disappointing result. I thought the performance was disappointing. I thought it was a real poor game of football. From both teams, if truth be told, but I don't want that to sound like sour grapes or anything like that. We were poor in possession. Out of possession, we were fine. Lots of duels, lots of aerial duels, especially up with Big Mike up front, and contested second balls, lots of that. But then when we had chances to play football, we didn't, and we ended up, falling into a very similar trap, and it ended up, in my opinion, being a real low-quality game. And even though we've had the better chances, we've hit the bar, and Rudy's had a great chance. I think their keeper was actually man of the match. It still wasn't a great game to watch, in my opinion. I was hugely frustrated with us in possession, because I thought we could have done so much more with the ball. But we didn't, and then in the end we get punished for a transition when we're trying to win the game, and sometimes that happens, and sometimes you have to accept that happens. We won't change the way we go about it in terms of trying to win the game, because you end up winning the game more often than not, or certainly not losing it. But today we have, and we have to lick our wounds and go again on Tuesday.
Why was it so devoid of quality today, would you say?
I think, first of all, I think you've got to give Oldham credit for, their defensive record is very good, and they do that to teams. The pitch is a bit lively, but ultimately it was down to us. Actually not having enough quality in possession. We can complain about other things or external things. We have to look at ourselves first, and that's not reflective of the standards we've set in possession. And I thought it was a real poor performance from us, really. If I had the answer, I'd have said something at 3:30 or whatever. It's only at half time, and it's never one thing, is it? It's never one thing in isolation. We've got to make sure we are much better than that. That's for sure. Going in the running.
How much of a setback does this feel like to you?
Whenever you win, it's a setback in that sense, and it's a feeling we're not used to. Losing games of football is a feeling we're not used to. When it's the second in 15, you've got to actually go. That's understand that we don't want to feel like this again. But we've got to, before we even get to the finals, we've got to understand we've got to be much better. That's the bottom line, and there's lots of things from today's game. There'll be lots of things to pick out of it tomorrow morning, because we're not going to get anywhere if we play like that. It's as simple as that. Our possession, we were fine. We're absolutely fine. We've limited them to, I think, one shot on target.
So, defeat for Grimsby Town at Oldham at Boundary Park. Let's talk about the game that at least had a positive ending, and that's Hull Kingston Rovers, who are through to the quarter-finals of the Challenge Cup with a 52-12 win over the Huddersfield Giants. Humberside Sports' Richard Stead spoke to head coach Willie Peters after the match.
Willie, well done. You're in the next round of the Cup. Talk to us about that 80 minutes, please.
Yeah, look, pleasing for the majority of it. Obviously, the last 20 minutes got sloppy. Something we'll look at, but obviously it's a do or die, so it's just about getting a result. So happy that we got the result.
It was a different sort of a game to what we used to see in, week out. Was that the situation? Was that the way that the game panned out, or was that a plan that you came into to sort of throw it around a little bit more, play a little bit more eyes up?
He's saying it was different from.
Yeah, it had a real different feel to a Super League. Oh, it did to me anyway, I might be wrong, but it seemed to feel very different.
Yeah, look, it's for us, we want to play what's in front in terms of the attack, so I want us to be a team when there's an opportunity there, take the opportunity, and when it's time to put the head down and play through the middle, do that as well. So I think we had a pretty good blend, but yeah, look, Huddersfield, we know have had their fair share of injuries coming into this game, and we knew that they'd bring in young, enthusiastic sort of guys, which, I thought they held their own for long periods of that game. But obviously, it was about getting a result for us, which we did.
Some sensational tries, both individual efforts and team tries again this afternoon. Were you pleased to see that?
Yeah, I was. I mean, obviously, people love watching tries being scored. The area I loved most was the defence inside that 20-metre line. We had like 30 tackles inside the 20. And we didn't let any tries in. We let in a long range try, and then an intercept at the end there. But inside the 20 was our defence was really tight. But on the flip side, the attack, I thought we asked a lot of questions, and like you said, scored some nice individual tries and some team tries as well.
No James Batchelor today. Just talk us through why Batch didn't feature.
He's just got a minor hip, but I wanted to give Tom Whitehead an opportunity. I think he's trained really well in the pre-season, and he was ready for an opportunity, and I thought it was the right time to give him an opportunity to play with some senior guys, and I thought he held his own as well.
And good to get 40 minutes into Bill Leyland as well, was it?
Yeah, the same thing. Obviously we've got 3 hookers that at the club, and we want to make sure Bill's ready to go when he's called up, and he was ready to go today, and he took his opportunity. So he wasn't happy with a missed tackle towards the back end, but I like that because it means he cares and obviously values the most important thing for us, which is our defence. But overall, I was pleased with what he did.
That's Willie Peters talking to Richard Stead. So Hull Kingston Rovers into the quarter-finals of the Challenge Cup, but not to be for Hull FC. They are out of the competition, beaten 16-6 at Lee. We'll try and reflect that between now and 8 o'clock this evening, but we're about to resume for second half commentary of Scunthorpe United, currently 1-0 down at home to Altrincham. It's on all frequencies and the BBC Sport app and website, BBC Sounds as well. Commentary for the second half comes from former Iron striker Steve Torpey and Ollie Turner.
Scunthorpe United manager Andy Butler is going to make a change ahead of the start of the second half. Pat Jones limited to another appearance off the bench following his arrival from Chester earlier this week. And Pat Jones will be coming on for Carl Hurst on the right-hand side of midfield. So Scunthorpe United will line up with Lewis Jones in goal. It's a defence comprised of Joe Starbuck, Andrew Boyce the captain, Brandon Horton and Zane Tahir. Pat Jones comes on for Carl Hurst. The 2 central midfielders are Zane Westbrook and Joe Rowley. Tyler Denton on the left-hand side. The 2 strikers are Danny Whitehall and Leo Farrell. The bench, Jean Balayoun, Alfie Beeston, Ollie Ewing, Connor Smith, Rory Mahardy and Ross Barrows. Altrincham, no changes at the break. Luke Hutchinson is in goal for them. 3 centre-halves are Jake Cooper, Josh Grant and Eddie Jones. Tyler Golden is at right wing-back. Sam Reed at left wing-back. 3 in central midfield of Tom Crawford, the captain, Isaac Marriott and Liam Humbles. The 2 strikers, the goal scorer Lucas Weaver and Jimmy Knowles. The bench, only 6 substitutes for Altrincham today. Carell Reddin, Sam Barnes, Joel Bailey, Louis Fallon, the goalkeeper, Cian Mattison and Charlie Kirk. As we're back underway, Scunthorpe United 0, Altrincham 1 in the National League. Second half commentary on all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies, online via BBC Sounds. The hosts attacking from right to left in this second period towards the Doncaster Road end. Claret shirts with blue sleeves, blue shorts with claret trim and claret socks with blue trim. Altrincham on the attack at the moment from left to right towards the south stand. The black shirts with yellow diagonal lines, yellow shirts with black trim, yellow shorts with black trim and black socks. As the ball's headed on into the iron penalty area, Boyce will clear away. It falls to Josh Grant. Little flick, finds his captain Crawford, will try and cross from the right. It's blocked by Tahir, goes out for a throw. Steve Torpey, what do you make of the change?
Yeah, I think it's like for like, isn't it? I don't think the formation is going to change. I think it's still going to play with 4-4-2. But I think he done really well midweek, Pat Jones, and you can see why he's come on. But that bit more directness, that little bit of power, pace, and need a goal as well from somewhere. But it's kind of all out attack really now, with Tyler Denton probably a little bit lopsided, more defensive down this left-hand side, but still able to get some balls into the box, which is the ultimate aim, I guess, and objective.
Are you surprised that Andy Butler didn't bring someone like Zane Tahir off, put Tyler Denton at left back and have two natural wingers either side of midfield?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I don't think they've done too bad. I think they've put a good amount of crosses, but then if you go early stages, put out and out wingers on, then
I'll break you off there, Steve, as Altrincham looking for a second. Weaver across the box. It's cleared away at the near post by Joe Starbuck. Andrew Boyce hooks it further clear from the byline. Altrincham come again, though, with Humbles, who miscontrols, and Scunthorpe will boot the ball into the centre circle. But Whitehall's beaten to it by Josh Grant, to the groans of the home Scunthorpe United supporters. Altrincham come forward again, this time down the left. Reid, one-on-one with Starbuck. Into the penalty area goes. Reid slides it across the box, but Jones will claim it as near post. Lewis Jones, that is. Steve Torpey, sorry.
I think as the game develops and if the scoreline remains the same, 1-0, then I think he would bring on like for like and go a little bit more direct down both flanks. But he's obviously looking a bit more conservative down this left side.
Denton wins the ball high at the park, swings it into Pat Jones, can't beat Isaac Marriott though, 20 yards from goal, and Altrincham boot it away. It's propelled out wide to the left with Jimmy Knowles running at Andrew Boyce, skips past him but just loses the ball in the process, and Starbuck can hammer it away from the edge of the iron penalty area. Altringham's ball once more though. Reid flicks into the feet of Marriott, who will slow play down and slips it back to Eddie Jones. Now it's Grant on the ball, across to the right-sided centre half, Jake Cooper. Not to be confused with the other Jake Cooper at Millwall's. That's a delightful little touch from Tyler Golden over the top of Denton. Here is Lucas Weaver, has pulled Horton out wide. In comes the cross, headed over the crossbar by Marriott. That was a golden opportunity to make it 2-0, but Marriott heads over the bar.
It's a great ball in, wasn't it? And that's probably what Scunthorpe have lacked a little bit there. They have a great quality ball down this right-hand side from Altrincham. It's great run in the middle between the two centre halves. Just got kind of stoop low and got under the ball, headed over the crossbar. But a great run, great cross. Just kind of didn't have the end product for Altrincham. A bit let off for Scunthorpe there because that was a good chance.
Whitehall heads on the goal kick. Leo Farrell is pulled back by Jake Cooper, who gets Altrincham's first yellow card of the game in the 49th minute. And Scunthorpe United have another set-piece opportunity here in the form of this free kick. Inside left channel, 35 yards out. It's going to be Zane Westbrook again to take it right-footed. Two-man wall for Altrincham. Lucas Weaver part of it, along with Sam Reid. Andrew Boyce up from the back, along with Brandon Horton. As Altrincham again holding that defensive line just inside their own box. Westbrook, left arm up into the air, drives it in, headed up and away. Marriott gets a flick onto the ball. Horton brings it down, is then robbed of it by Humbles. Marriott will flick it into touch for a Scunthorpe throw. Boyce will stay forward for the time being. Seems as if he's caught in no man's land. He's staying up from the back now as he jogs back into the penalty area. Starbuck is going to attempt to go long with this throw. Haven't seen this too often for Scunthorpe United. 5 minutes gone at the start of this second half. Altrincham still leading by a goal to nil. Boyce flicks on the throw and Whitehall can't prod it home. Hutchinson's ball.
Yeah, I think because of the corner, I think Andrew Boyce just stayed up, and it's a good throw, good first contact. Just need to read the situation. Just a straight flick on from Andrew Boyce. Just needs a little bit more aware, Danny Whitehall there for where that second ball's going to land.
Horton backpedaling, heads that volley away from Hutchinson, and it's powered forward from the back by the iron. Whitehall barged over from behind by Jake Cooper. It's just a throw in the end though for Scunthorpe. Denton to take it from midway inside the Altrincham half, tries to throw it over the top. Couldn't pick out Pat Jones. Acrobatic clearance away by Tyler Golden. Now here's Humbles. Scampers away from Westbrook and then Rowley. Impressive work there to keep the ball in play as well. Humbles still going, has got behind to here, chops inside, referee plays the advantage as Altrincham switch it to the left. Reed just inside the box, gets it onto his left peg, fires towards goal, straight into the midriff of Lewis Jones.
Yeah, great play from Humbles down his right hand side, quick feet, and then he just accelerated away from two Scunthorpe players and played it across, and it's a nice reverse ball down to the left hand side, drilled in. Jones collected it quite comfortably in the end, but signs that they're playing with a little bit more confidence, Altrincham, and they are a threat, even though not created too many clear-cut chances. It just shows you well they can produce something like they did in the first half, something out of nothing to get that first goal.
And the visitors have a free kick inside their own half, just outside of the centre circle. It's pretty central in terms of its area on the field, as Tom Crawford is slowly but surely getting back up onto his feet. Will pull his right sock up towards his knee as he hobbles away from the ball. And now checks his left ankle, but he's still walking around fairly gingerly at the moment. Tom Crawford, who I saw on Instagram, went to Cheltenham Festival this week along with the man on loan from Scunthorpe United, Declan Howe. Header away by the iron defence, and it'll drop to Pat Jones. Tries to dart away from his man but loses possession in the process. Eddie Jones to Crawford, risky ball, but Marriott will play it away. And now Altrincham on an attack with Humbles again, a real live wire in midfield. Plays in Knowles down the left-hand channel, one-on-one with Brandon Horton. Chops onto his right foot, and again it's saved at the near right-hand post by Lewis Jones.
Yeah, they've come out of the blocks really sharp, Altrincham, moving the ball quickly. Scunthorpe have to be careful that they don't try to win this game too early. They need to be a little bit patient and not all guns blazing. Otherwise they're going to leave themselves susceptible at the back.
Down the other end, here's Pat Jones with the strike, and it's deflected wide of the far post. Referee, though, points for the goal kick.
Yeah, I think he got that one wrong. Good strike from... And he caught it the defender's hand, didn't it? I think it was the Altringham's defender's hand, and it's kind of slid out past the far post, which should have been a corner, but the referees decided to give a goal kick.
Danny Whitehall not happy with how long the goal kick is taking, as Luke Hutchinson was about to take it and then rolls the ball over to the left-hand side of his own 6-yard area to further eat up a bit more time. And in front of the Doncaster Road end, he will stroke it forward. Header is won by Altrincham, flicked on by Knowles. Weaver is in behind here, left-hand side of the box, and he leans back as he pulls the trigger, and it's over the crossbar. And Altrincham, chances going awry here to double their lead. Will they be punished for it? At the moment, they're still 1-0 up.
Yeah, and this all seems to be down Scunthorpe's right-hand side, Altringham's left-hand side. They've really kind of worked that side and trying to exploit kind of maybe our tendency to push forward and leave spaces, and they are finding them. They've started the second half really well.
Here comes Scunthorpe United though. Farrell can't pick out Tyler Denton, but here is the left-sided player, 25 yards from goal, hits it on his weaker right foot. It will fall to Danny Whitehall 20 yards out. He scuffs his shot. Altrincham will play out from the back here. Crawford into Golden, who will swing that up towards the halfway line. Tahir wins the header. Here's Rowley, immediately greeted by Golden, and somehow he's managed to keep hold of the ball there in amongst 3 Robins players, but that's poor from Westbrook. Puts it on a plate for Knowles. He's trying to break free away from Brandon Horton. Goes down pretty cheaply. He's not going to get a free kick for that, and another chance goes begging for Altrincham. Still 1-0 up. 10 minutes played at the start of this second half on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. And finally the Doncaster Road end sparks into life to our left-hand side. Westbrook. Now it's Horton, just play slowing to a halt. Westbrook will try and inject some energy back into his side. Horton once more on the ball. Looks up. Swings it down the line. Can Denton keep this in play? I think he'll be able to, but he's come from an offside position. Altrincham free kick.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need to keep you safe. Tyler Denton's gone inside there. He's gone far too early with his run. We're sitting here, and before he's even got his head up, he's made that run far too early and straight 2 or 3 yards offside. Just keep your shape, keep your width, keep your shape. Don't start losing your shape, and I think that's where they're going a little bit wrong. Sometimes just keep your shape, get the ball into wide areas, isolate them, 1v1 situations, get balls in the box, look to get first contact, if not get a second contact. I know it sounds easier, but it's a basic game, and Scunthorpe not doing the basics well this afternoon.
The free kick is taken by Luke Hutchinson. Rowley will sweep that back into Altrincham territory, but it's well juggled by Tyler Golden, and then Tyler Denton is tripped by Crawford as he gets onto that loose ball. Another Scunthorpe free kick as Westbrook goes short. 1-2 with Denton. Back to the halfway line now with Brandon Horton as the ball bobbles awkwardly off the instep of his right foot. Boyce finds Rowley with his pass, but he's forced back behind the halfway line. The Scunthorpe skipper on the ball again, and Altrincham do well to press and force the iron back to their goalkeeper Lewis Jones to try again. Tahir to Horton. Now it's Westbrook with Humbles over his shoulder. Finds Andrew Boyce, his captain, and Boyce will arrow that down the right hand side, headed away by Eddie Jones. Sam Reed will keep the ball in the field of play, and Jones clears away. Boyce and Westbrook get into a bit of a mix up there, and Altrincham are on the front foot. Knowles just couldn't beat Horton with that pass, sticks out a leg to intercept, and Scunthorpe will attack now with Farrell, who tries to flick it in behind for Whitehall to run onto. Those two not quite on the same wavelength, as Denton is beaten to a pass out from the Altrincham defence by Tyler Golden, who will put that forward for Knowles to try and latch onto, but Scunthorpe cover. Not the best of balls out of the iron box from Lewis Jones. Rowley will flick it on. Then there's a header from Marriott inside the centre circle. Humbles will shield it away from Westbrook, who then gives up the free kick.
Yeah, so second balls, Altrincham seems to be winning a lot, especially in that central midfield area. There's spaces in there because we've only got the 2 in there today. Normally we would have the 3 or playing a diamond shape. Just need to get a grip of that and try and start to win a few second balls and get it out into those flankers. They are trying to do that. I think that's the initial objective of this second half. And get some balls in the box, keep saying it, but so they've not really put any crosses in this second half.
Eddie Jones then, left-footed free kick, curls it in. Boyce with the header out of the box. Marriott will nod it inside, but it's picked up by Zane Westbrook. Now Tyler Denton looks up, will try and switch it from left to right, but he's rushed that ball, and it'll bounce through to Luke Hutchinson. Scunthorpe being a touch too rash going forward at the moment.
That's a prime example. You're trying a 70-yard diagonal ball when the ball's running across your body on a bobbly pitch. If it comes off, it looks great. Just get back to basics and keep the ball simple. Keep moving the ball, shifting the ball, and do it in stages.
Ball's back with Lewis Jones in a green goalkeeping kit under the night sky here at Glanford Park. As ball forward finds a forehead of Crawford, and Altrincham again on the attack. Weaver has beaten the offside trap on this occasion, flicks it through to Reed, makes his way into the penalty area, pulls it back for Knowles. First shot's blocked, chance still alive though as it comes to Humbles. and that should have been 2-0, and he puts it straight at Lewis Jones.
Again, another chance down that left-hand side. Good play, overlapping and good movement. Ball comes across around about 10 yards out on a bobbly pitch. Didn't get the contact on it, a bit like Danny Whitehall's first half effort. And it's luckily gone into Lewis Jones' arms, and that could have been nearly game over if that had gone in.
Westbrook beaten to the ball in midfield, and there's just a real lack of industry and imagination from this Scunthorpe United side at the moment with an hour played. Golden cuts a pass down the right. Tahir will beat Weaver to the ball. Ollie Ewing is going to be coming on for the Iron. I think it's going to be a double change. Alfie Beeston also about to enter the action. Jones right-footed, slams it forward. Whitehall can't flick it on. Denton inside. It's a weak pass. Altrincham able to clear. Rowley almost knocked off the ball by Crawford, but flicks out the park. But it's just coming straight back to the visitors, who are able to keep the ball on the deck and string some passes together and create a cohesive attack. And forward they come again down the right with Weaver. The cross is blocked out by Tahir for a corner.
Yeah, they're playing well, and they look the ones who look more likely to score and get the second goal. They're playing with that freedom. They kind of look more confident on the ball. Just look, they patched themselves 7-8 weeks ago, and they're in that real good run of form. They've had a major dip in performance, and obviously back-to-back results, and just look a little bit flat again. You think this come out of the second half 1-0 down, starting the second half on their front foot. It's totally opposite. It's really flat, and that's why Andy Butler's making these subs.
Altrincham corner from the right, swung in, powerful header away at the near post by Zayn Tahir, but Pat Jones not able to hold it up. It's floated back towards the iron box by Isaac Marriott. It'll be headed away. Westbrook's onto it, and he'll just smash that away as far as he can. 50-50 ball. He got caught late. It's a free kick for Scunthorpe United, and that double change will be made. Well, I've got a question for you, Steve, but I'll wait to see how the substitutions pan out first, as it's going to be Ollie Ewing and Alfie Beeston coming on, Tyler Denton coming off. And the other player who is coming off, I think it's going to be Danny Whitehall. He's already jogging over. It is. I was going to ask Steve, I might as well ask it now, why does it seem as if there's absolutely no chemistry between Leo Farrell and Danny Whitehall up front?
You could argue that, but after even the first half, I don't think they actually played. They didn't really combine. They weren't getting close to each other. They were kind of split apart. Obviously, I don't know if they've worked much in between the week, the 2 or 3 days.
Chance here for Ewing as Pat Jones jumps over the top of the shot. It's still alive here with Farrell. Has got 2 Altrincham players to try and beat. Retreats back to Joe Rowley, who will cut inside. Right-footed ball into the Altrincham box. Starbuck up from the back, tries to nod it back to a teammate. Altrincham making a hash of clearing their lines. Rowley puts it back into the mixer. It's brought down by Starbuck. 18 yards of goal! And he's got the equaliser. It's Joe Starbuck. Makes it Scunthorpe United 1, Altrincham 1. The Robins not able to clear their lines from inside their own penalty area. The chance still alive as it falls to Joe Starbuck, right of centre, on the edge of the Altrincham penalty area, and he fires it home into the bottom corner. And Joe Starbuck is off the mark for Scunthorpe United. His first goal for the Iron, and he makes things all square. 1-1.
Yeah, a great strike, and it could prove really, really important, this goal. A, for himself, and B, for Scunthorpe. Not started second half greatly, a little bit slow. Hopefully they can kick him on that, but it's a great finish. Just took his touch, left foot, smashed it across the goalkeeper's right-hand side into the far corner of the goal. And like I say, he didn't realise that was his first goal, Ollie, so that gave him a massive lift, and I think he did need that. And I didn't really see where a goal was coming from. Can they build on this and go on to get a second and hopefully win the game?
Yeah, I had to open up my spreadsheet while I was commentating on that goal, but yeah, definitely his first for the club, Joe Starbuck. Recently made his 50th appearance for the club last month in the defeat at home to York City, and he's got his first goal now. Another milestone for the Iron right back as Alfie Beeston is felled in midfield by Marriott. Iron free kick, they try and take it quickly, but from the incorrect position, so Simon Mather has pulled play back.
Yeah, you was asking about Leo Farrell and Danny White, where they never really worked, did it?
As Horton hits it from 35 yards and it's deflected well wide of the right hand post. Maybe was travelling goalwards there before the deflection. Iron corner.
Sorry, I will get on to that point in a minute. But yeah, maybe they've not had time to work on it. Two similar kind of players.
Corner kick goes short. 1-2 between Pat Jones and Ollie Ewing. Here's Jones on the ball again. Angle at the penalty area. Hits it. It's bouncing around in there. Altrincham just about get it out of their own box. Jones will bring it down. Midway inside the Altrincham half. Inside left channel. Now it's Ollie Ewing. Out on this near side. Gets it onto his right boot. Flicks it back to Rowley. He will curl in across towards the back post. Altrincham do well to deal with that. But Sam Reid didn't take the opportunity to clear. Ollie Ewing with a loose touch though. Comes to Farrell! And it's deflected wide of the right-hand post for another corner.
And that was inches wide. Great little turn from Leo Farrell. Just kind of pivoted round, struck with his right foot, caught a deflection. It just spun the wrong side of the far post. But great bit of play from Scunthorpe. Intense pressure from Scunthorpe. Really turning the screw now.
Ewing will try again with this corner. Pat Jones has made his way inside the box, so they won't go short with this one. Ewing, right-footed, swings it towards the back post. It's Hutchinson's all the way, leapt up above everyone else to claim, and waits for all of the outfield players to leave his box. Barring his two centre-halves, two of his three centre-halves that is, as he will bowl it out to Tyler Golden. Golden back to Cooper. We'll let you know how Scunthorpe are lining up following those changes in a moment. Looks like a 4-2-3-1 from my view, but I'll get the thoughts of Steve Torpey in a moment. But Altrincham break free of the iron press as it's Humbles, finds Weaver in space, inside right channel, edge of the box now. Weaver kept out by Zayn Tahir.
Yeah, good defending. Got it nice and close, and have directed him on the outside as he's pulled his foot back. He's just put the block on, and for a throw-in down their right-hand side, Altrincham.
Carell Redding going to be coming on in a moment for Altrincham. The Robins' first change of the night. As they're on the attack here, cross comes in from Golden on his left foot. Scunthorpe United boot the ball out of their own box. Starbuck, the goal scorer, leaps into mid-air to try and flick it further clear. Another iron clearance, but unconvincing though from Brandon Horton. Altrincham try again as it's juggled in midfield by Crawford. Beeston loses it. Comes here to Eddie Jones. Manages to evade Beeston's first challenge, but not the second. Out for a throw-in.
Yeah, there's a bit more kind of tempo to Scunthorpe's play now. Goals do change games, and I think you just come at the right time for Scunthorpe to really go and push on there and try and get this second. Also been impressive still, still having a real good go at it and making some substitutions. They've been under the cosh for the last 5 or 6 minutes just to relieve that little bit of pressure and try to get a foothold in the game, Altrincham, but at the moment they're nowhere near it.
Carell Redding has come on for Sam Reid, who's left the field over on the far side. So Scunthorpe lining up with that back four of Starbuck, Boyce, Horton and Tahir, and the two holding midfielders are Westbrook and Rowley. The three of Beeston, Ewing and Jones are behind the lone striker of Leo Farrell. You agree with that, Steve?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of a 4-3-3, 2 holding midfield players, and then Ollie Ewing a little bit more advanced, looking to link up with Leo Farrell up there, more advanced position.
Carell Redding has come on and looks to be operating down the right-hand side as here comes Scunthorpe. Beeston flicks inside looking for Pat Jones. Tyler Golden, good defending from him, alert there to get in front, goal side and boot that ball away. Scunthorpe come again, but it's lost by Joe Starbuck on the right-hand touchline. It's powered in behind. Redding with a burst of pace, but he's beaten to the ball by Zayn Tahir, who was trying to shepherd out for a throw, but Redding has ghosted back in front of the left-back. On the attack now is the fresh Altrincham substitute. Into the penalty penalty area, just delayed the cross. No contact there, gets back up onto his feet, but the ball had trickled out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, Altrincham player tried to go on the outside, done really well to be fair, defending. Tahir kind of just stood on his feet and just drew the dive, really, kind of going down far too easy. And no way was that a penalty, or nowhere near a penalty decision.
Looks like Altrincham have gone to a 4-3-3. The back four, Golden, Cooper, Grant and Jones. In midfield it's Crawford, Marriott and Humbles. Crawford is the midfielder shielding that back four. Marriott and Humbles advanced, and then a front three from right to left of Reddin, Weaver and Knowles, as Hutchinson puts the ball straight into touch for a Scunthorpe throw on the far side. 20 minutes of normal time to go. You're listening to BBC Radio Humberside Sport. We're with you until 8 o'clock tonight. Scunthorpe United 1, Altrincham 1. Joe Starbuck's first for the Iron, cancelling out Lucas Weaver's opener in the first period. As Starbuck will swing that inside. Pat Jones backs into Jake Cooper, trying to put him off winning that header. Ollie Ewing attempts to win the second ball in midfield, but he's shoved off of it. And here come Altrincham down the left as Jimmy Knowles bursts past Joe Starbuck. Knowles feeling his shirt or his shoulder was being pulled back there by the Scunthorpe right back, but doesn't get a free kick. Not getting any change out of the referee there. And Altrincham on the ball, they almost lose it in midfield, but still in possession of the visitors. Inside their own half at the moment as it's pushed back into defence to Grant. Now it's Cooper on the edge of his own penalty area. They manoeuvre the ball from left to right. Golden goes over the top to here, watches that come down, heads it away. Horton will beat Weaver to the ball, and he's having to work as hard as possible to keep it at his feet. Finds Pat Jones on this left-hand touchline. Rolling, trying to roll away from Golden. I think the referee was about to blow for a free kick there and plays the advantage. Jones still slaloming forward down the left-hand side, waits for support, pings it back to Rowley, he's got Redding over his shoulder, feeds it infield to Ewing, now it's Westbrook, plays in Starbuck, right-hand side, the box! Straight at Hutchinson at his near left-hand post.
Yeah, real good play down this left-hand side, literally done it in stages, shifting the ball. Great movement from Starbuck on his front foot, took out his feet, struck it from about a similar position from where he scored, maybe slightly infield a little bit. And just went near post this time. Goalkeeper saved it quite comfortably.
Charlie Kirk is about to come on next. Was highly rated during his days at Crewe Alexandra, named in the League 2 Team of the Year as they won promotion from that division in 2020 under the current Grimsby Town head coach David Artell. Pat Jones can't beat Tyler Golden, who's got the final touch on that ball. It is Golden. Scunthorpe throw on this left-hand side, over the top from Rowley, finds Pat Jones, trying to beat Golden again. Who's got the last touch on that one? It's Golden once more. He cannot believe those two decisions have gone against him, the right back for Altrincham, and he's had, against his wishes, to concede another corner kick. Charlie Kirk still waiting to come on for the Robins.
Yeah, he's been impressive, hasn't he, Pat Jones? Only been started the second half, and that energy and directness that Scunthorpe's left-hand side has been lacking.
Ewing, latest delivery from this corner kick on the left-hand side, headed away at the near post. Starbuck with another effort, and it's not far away again on the half volley, deflected wide of the left-hand post. Another Scunthorpe corner.
Yeah, real tough technique to hit that ball, and he got it perfect. He's got a drop down on his right foot, and as he struck it about 15 yards out, it's caught a deflection and gone out for a corner. But great contact from Joe Starbuck this afternoon.
Ewing was about to take that quickly, but got his foot caught in the turf. The cross is swung in by Starbuck, headed down by Andrew Boyce. Altrincham hammering it as far away as possible. Tahir heads it back into the mixer, falls behind Josh Grant. Then there's a clearance from Crawford. Westbrook tries to funnel that back into the Altrincham box, but the visitors just scrambling the ball away anywhere possible, and now they'll get a bit of respite with this substitution. Charlie Kirk coming on in the 75th minute for the goal scorer Lucas Weaver.
Yeah, Scunthorpe just need to keep probing away, and they just need something, a little bit of good fortune, or one of the Scunthorpe players to take a gamble. And they need that little bit of luck, obviously, sometimes, just for it to fall in the right place at the right time. But Scunthorpe are probing now. It's a much better last 10 minutes.
Horton Good hold-up play there from Farrell to beat Crawford to the ball. It's Westbrook though who's given possession away. Charlie Kirk's first few touches into Humbles inside the centre circle. He's given it up though. Tahir onto the loose ball. Rampaging forward from left back. Tries to swing it in behind for Pat Jones to run onto. Tahir onto the second ball though. Flicks into Pat Jones. Cross though. Diverted behind by Humbles. Another Scunthorpe corner. Pressure building on the Altrincham goal. Still 1-1. Quarter of an hour to go of normal time.
Yeah, need to try and get first contact. Make sure the goalkeeper don't come out and collect it without any challenge. Ollie Ewing's in the right area. Just Scunthorpe player just to gamble and get on the end of this.
Ewing tries again from the left. In it goes, and that's powerfully booted away first time by Crawford. Altrincham slow to leave their box as Tahir is able to bring it down just in front of the touchline. Here goes Starbuck, bulldozing down the right, swings in the cross from deep. Clearance out by Eddie Jones, now playing at left back in the second period. Scunthorpe come again. Horton out to Ewing. It was one-way traffic from Altrincham at the start of this second half. Now it's Scunthorpe's turn. Ewing with the delivery towards the back post. Farrell had gone to the near. No one gambles around the back. Altrincham throw.
There's a great ball in. A little step over from Ollie Ewing down this left-hand side. Great ball with his left foot. And in between the 6-yard box and the goalkeeper. And there's no one in there. It's a great ball. Should have at least one or two or three taking a gamble in there. You know what he's going to do. On his left side. Just get an understanding.
Throw for Altrincham, level with their own 6-yard area on the left. Forward it goes, but it comes straight back towards that Robbins back line. Josh Grant deals with it. Starbuck into Beeston. Inside right channel, the ball just slides past Pat Jones rather awkwardly as then Redding is brought down centre of the park by Joe Rowley. Altrincham free kick. And Scunthorpe need to take advantage of this momentum that they've got, because they had it after their equaliser here at midweek against Sutton United, but then it dissipated before conceding that 95th minute winner for the U's. Jake Cooper arrows it out to the right. Here's Redding, brings it down away from Zayn Tahir, pulls it back, well, attempts to pull it back to Tyler Golden, but the pass is short. Pat Jones into Farrell. He's knocked off it. Jake Cooper clears away. Scunthorpe United forced backwards. Altrincham not really pushing up the park here. Sort of holding a low block at the moment. Horton into Westbrook. Now it's Andrew Boyce playing on the right side of that back four as a centre half. Boyce gesturing for players to go short before going over the top. It was nowhere near Leo Farrell, that long ball up the pitch. Altrincham comfortably able to defend that. Jake Cooper, risky pass, bobbling off the turf, and it's intercepted by Ollie Ewing. Alfie Beeston here, no real room to shoot, plays it into Ewing, who just can't take that ball as he tried to scurry through into the penalty area. Altringham's clearance only travels as far as Joe Starbuck. Now Beeston tries to play it back through to Starbuck. Just not too far wide, that pass, a bit too narrow from the Scunthorpe's longest serving player. Boyce puts that one out, his clearance for an Altrincham throw.
Yeah, I think Altrincham were quite happy just to keeping that back four, that line, that compactness when the balls are going wide. Scunthorpe just need to find some little spaces in between either the fullback and the centre halves, or the two centre halves. They're trying to probe and trying to work it. Just a little bit of quality in that final third in around the 18-yard box to open this defence up.
From the throw, finds the forehead of Joe Starbuck, heads it inside to Pat Jones on the edge of the centre circle, funnels that forward quickly, header out from the back by Jake Cooper for Altrincham. Then Scunthorpe United's own Brandon Horton will bundle that forward. It comes to Starbuck, 1-2 between him and Joe Rowley on the right hand touchline. Beeston inside to Rowley, room to drive into, still he goes into the penalty area. Rowley tries to pull it back to a teammate in claret and blue, shouts of handball. Altrincham scramble it away again. Boyce shields the ball into the path of Joe Starbuck. Horton now to here. Ewing is peeling out wide and he collects the pass from the left back. Westbrook on the edge of the centre circle, looks up, diagonal ball over the top. Eddie Jones will let that bounce out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think Ollie Ewing's made an impact. I think all the subs have made a positive impact since they've come on. Alfie Beeston, Ollie Ewing and Pat Jones have all contributed to this turnaround in performance and that freshness. I know we spoke about the change of formation and playing with a 4-2-3-1. It's kind of 4-3-3 formation, but it's made a definite impact. And I was listening to the radio coming in for the game, and they was talking about, I think they're making a sub in here.
Yes, Isaac Marriott went down in the first half, and he has quite clearly made the signal that he's going to need to come off here with this injury that he's been playing through in this game. I think the home supporters think this is one of those tactical stoppages, but I do think Isaac Marriott has picked up some kind of injury, which means he's not going to be able to continue, and it's going to be Sam Barnes coming on in his place shortly.
Yeah, but it's just it kills the momentum we see on Tuesday, and it's a game point, it's a tactic, and because somebody's coming off the pitch, well, does that make the excuse for everybody to come on the side and have a water break? Since when has that been a thing?
But the referee could have brought that under control, because Ollie Ewing quite quickly pulled Isaac Marriott back up onto his feet, and he didn't have any treatment in the end, but also the physio was on the field, so he couldn't get play immediately back underway, as there is the change. Isaac Marriott off and Sam Barnes is on.
It's definitely a tactics being used now to slow the game down. If you're winning the game or you need a point or whatever the game situation is, the state of the game, but you know, it does kill the momentum. Scunthorpe have been on the ascendancy for the last 15-20 minutes, and just any kind of ploy to kill that momentum that they're going to try, and I don't think it's right.
Ball bounces out in the end as play is back underway. Both sides are protesting for it. In the end, it's an Altrincham throw right by the corner flag in between the Doncaster Road end and the East Stand here at Glanford Park. You can have your say on this game up until 8 o'clock tonight, as well as our other 4 big match commentaries earlier on this Super Saturday, as we've described it. 08000 665959, the number to call. Ball bounces awkwardly away from Carell Redding. Scunthorpe on the attack with Ewing. Pirouettes away from Crawford. Rowley lays it off to Westbrook. First time ball out wide to Starbuck. Crosses in from deep again. Hasn't got that delivery quite right. Will it stay in the field of play? Not in the end, no. Golden will shepherd it out. Altrincham goal kick. 8 minutes of normal time left to play. 1-1.
Yeah, really, you know, that Ryan says that kind of game understanding and those kind of building relationships. So, you know, you want to win the game, you're on your front foot, you know the ball's going to come in. So gamble, what's the worst that can happen? You know, it's a poor cross and it gets intercepted, but at least try and gamble and try and be on the same wavelength as your teammates.
Starbuck arrowed forward again, but Scunthorpe's momentum is dissipating once again here. Not looking as cohesive in attack as they were following the equalising goal in the 64th minute through Giles Starbuck. Throw for the iron. Tahir, though, only picks out an Altrincham player in Tyler Golden, who's tripped by Ollie Ewing. That's another free kick for Altrincham, and now Tyler Golden is going down here, just stretching out his left leg, stretching off perhaps a bit of cramp. Turning to the side, following suspension. An FA Trophy winner with FC Halifax Town is Tyler Golden, as well as reaching the National League playoffs with the Shamen. Joined in July 2024 following a pre-season trial as Hutchinson with the free kick, headed away on the edge of the box by Brandon Horton. It's juggled by Humbles. Grant up from the back into Redding, trying to make room away from Zayn Tahir. Attempts to play in Humbles. Westbrook will clear from the byline, out for a throw. I think, interestingly, Ross Barrows is going to be coming on next for Scunthorpe. Joe Starbuck has had a pretty decent second half since scoring. Has had a couple of opportunities to put the iron ahead, and Altrincham here are going to go long from this throw. Josh Grant up from the back, leaning on that advertising wall in front of the West Stand. Rifles it in, header away at the near post by Joe Rowley. It's chested down by Pat Jones, who will hook it further forward. Eddie Jones watches it come down on the halfway line. Ewing will try and cushion a header inside, but it's intercepted by Grant. Now Cooper, that was a risky ball, dissecting a couple of iron players. Finds Tyler Golden, who's had the ball knocked away from him and out for a throw by Ollie Ewing, and here will come that Scunthorpe United change, and it's going to be Ross Barrows on for Zane Tahir. Steve Torpey.
Yeah, obviously a little bit of freshness, obviously going through it. I would imagine Ross Barrows pushing up and supporting Jones down his left hand side, just maybe a bit of freshness. He's a young lad, come into the game, had a tough game on Tuesday, maybe just feeling a little bit of fatigue, maybe more than anything.
Well, Brandon Horton has gone to left back. Ross Barrows is a left-sided centre-half. Andrew Boyce, the right-sided centre-half. Joe Starbuck continues at right back.
Well, you have to ask Andy Butler on that one.
Some feeling that Ross Barrows and Andrew Boyce's defending led to that Sutton United winner on Tuesday night, as Altrincham on the attack again. Reading into the penalty area, just knocked off of it by Horton. The loose ball ricochets through to Ollie Ewing, who will play in Pat Jones, flicks it past Crawford and gets onto his little flick down the left, attacking his man Golden. Crawford's in support. Pat Jones tries to flick it between the two. He's still got the ball at his feet. He wants support. He's gesturing for Brandon Horton to push up at left back. Here is Horton, almost midway inside Altrincham territory, swings it back into the centre circle to Andrew Boyce. Scunthorpe switch it from left to right. Starbuck, now Westbrook in the inside right channel to Beeston, pirouettes away from his man. Now it's Rowley manoeuvring it back from right to left. Horton, no real room to deliver a cross in. Back to Rowley. Scunthorpe staying patient here, probing this Altrincham defence. Connor Smith is going to be coming on next. Boyce to Starbuck on that right-hand touchline. Back inside to Beeston, moving laterally left to right, but not finding an opening as of yet. Now here's Ewing, central, midway inside Altrincham territory. Back to Westbrook in front of the centre circle. Westbrook scurrying forward with Humbles over his left shoulder, feeds it into Starbuck on that right-hand touchline, sends it inside to Beeston, edge of the box. Just no real opportunity to pull the trigger or cross at the moment. Scunthorpe perhaps playing a touch too intricately, and they've given it away, but Altrincham at the moment camped inside their own half. And Scunthorpe will have to try again, as Connor Smith keeping himself warm on the touchline, waiting to enter the field to try and have an impact on this game. Rowley on halfway, left to centre, cut back to Horton. Now it's Westbrook, looks up, drives it over to the far side. Starbuck brings it down with his right thigh, crosses in. That's an appalling delivery, straight out for a goal kick. Here will come the change. Connor Smith is going to be coming on, and he will be replacing Leo Farrell.
Okay, so he'll probably go down the middle, or will Pat Jones go down the middle? Yeah,
I think Alfie Beeston maybe. I think this is a bit of a bizarre couple of substitutions here. Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
I just hope it don't end up being the tinker man tinkering with it, and I don't see the rationale putting Ross Barrows as centre half. I don't know mindset around that, but obviously he's got his reasons. And put Alfie Beeston up front.
Alfie Beeston has gone through the middle. Pat Jones down the left, Connor Smith down the right. Ollie Ewing playing in that 10 role off the striker. As Beeston will press and will chase down that ball as goalkeeper Luke Tomlinson clears away. Rowley with the header on it, finds Connor Smith, who hits it first time, and he arrows that effort on the volley high and wide.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was kind of caught underneath. He was trying to loop it over the goalkeeper's head. First real touch of the ball as well when you come on relatively cold. It's hard to technique at the best of times, even though when you just come on the field of play.
Goal kick for Altrincham then. Scunthorpe United 1, Altrincham 1. BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Hutchinson with the goal kick as we head into the final minute of normal time. Is there a winner? There could be here for Altrincham as they're trying to drive forward down the right, but Crawford is beaten to that loose ball by Ross Barrows, heading towards his own corner flag, clears and doesn't get much distance on his clearance. It's an Altrincham throw, and surely they'll go long again here through Josh Grant.
He just needs to quicken things up. Brandon Horton on occasions he's too sloppy and a bit slow. He hasn't got time. He's left back. He's getting closed down, and you have that picture. You've got sometimes to get your head up. That split second, you're going to get pressed and you're going to get closed down.
We will await how many minutes will be added on at the end of this second half. Fourth official Jack Forderhay has his LED board ready. Crawford dinks a ball down the line. That will bobble straight out for a goal kick. Less than 10 seconds left of normal time. Scunthorpe United need to get a move on here if they want to find a winner, but still sort of jogging and ambling around at the moment is Lewis Jones. There are only going to be 4 minutes of additional time at the end of this second half.
Yeah, you don't often get 4. It's always normally 6 or 7. 4 minutes is relatively, especially with the amount of substitutions that have been taking place this second half.
Connor Smith flicks the ball on. It's with Alfie Beeston driving at that Altrincham back line. 20 yards from goal. Beeston may well have won it for Scunthorpe United. He hammers it home from 20 yards. And how crucial a win could this be for the Iron if they can hold on? Beeston off the bench, playing through the middle. A one-man army for Scunthorpe United's longest-serving player. He went solo and left-footed. He clatters it home. Luke Hutchinson had no chance. And in stoppage time, Scunthorpe United come from behind to lead Altrincham by 2-1.
Makes it change, doesn't it? Scunthorpe scoring in added time. What a great strike. And, you know, who am I to say Alfie Beeston's not a striker? He just no backlift, just kind of ricocheted. That little bit of good fortune that fell to him. Took it out of his feet, didn't even look. Just half a yard, hardly any backlift. Called the goalkeeper unaware. Struck it, and it's in the back, and hopefully that'll be the winning goal. And this much needed winning goal and much needed 3 points for Scunthorpe United.
Scunthorpe United's task now to hold on. They have dropped 10 points in 6 games this season following a 90th minute goal or a 90 plus minute goal from the opposition. They've got just over 2 minutes to see out, leading Altrincham by 2-1, and that will help the cause as Tyler Golden heads out of play for a Scunthorpe throw-in. And it will be Brandon Horton who will take it. 2 minutes left of normal time. Horton hurls that as far down the left-hand channel as possible. Alfie Beeston can't win the header. It's hooked on by Reddin for Altrincham. Horton wins the first header, then brings the ball under control bang on halfway and smashes it upfield. Beeston is barged off of it by Jake Cooper, who heads it across defence to left-back Eddie Jones. He will arrow that again straight into touch. Altrincham players the last few moments perhaps inspired by the final round of the Six Nations. And it's another Scunthorpe throw-in, and the clock continues to tick down in the host's favour. 81333 on the text. Start your message with the letters RH. If you want to chat to James Hogarth on BBC Radio Humberside Sport up until 8. At Humberside Sport, if you're on social media, if you want to give us your views on X, the WhatsApp number is 08000 321 333 and our email address humberside.sport@bbc.co.uk. Into the final minute of additional time. Scunthorpe United 2, Altrincham 1. Rowley into Westbrook. The Iron have possession in midfield. Now it's flicked across to Joe Starbuck. Down the line to Connor Smith on that right-hand touchline. Smith finds the goal scorer Beeston, who may well have won this game for Scunthorpe. Ewing attempts to wriggle free of a couple of challenges. The ball slides through to Pat Jones inside the penalty area. His first thought is to head towards the corner flag on the far side, but he's given up possession. Altrincham have it, but they've got less than 30 seconds to try and carve out an equaliser here as sliding challenges. Both Joe Rowley and Connor Smith lunging in there, and the pair combine to put it out for a throw. And well, one of the Altrincham players is in amongst the supporters to go and collect it over in the east stand opposite us. 5,042 here, the attendance on the club's community day at Glanford Park. 129 away supporters, as here's Pat Jones again, skipping forward, again heading for the corner flag, this time on the right. He's barged off the ball though by Carl Reddin. Gets the throw. We've played all 4 minutes of additional time as Pat Jones is just flicks the ball out of the hands of Tyler Golden, stopping that throw and being taken, and for that Pat Jones goes into the book.
Yeah, he just run down the outside of the throw, the person taking the throw in, and just knocked it out of his hand just to kill that little bit of time, but I don't think he'd be too worried about the yellow card at this stage.
Alfie Beeston, the match sponsors player of the match from a home perspective. Joe Starbuck, the iron bar, as there's a bit of pushing and shoving. Brandon Horton involved, as is Jake Cooper, and that won't help Altringham's cause. Ross Barrows is going to be called over by referee Simon Mapper as well, as is Jimmy Knowles. I suspect this will just be a talking to for the pair.
Yeah, they just had to see it. They just like facing each other. They grabbed hold of each other's shirts. The referee's assistant was right there, and see, nothing too serious. They just had a word with each other, and adds into this time.
And at the moment, Altringham's torrid away league record this season is set to continue, having led here at Glanford Park. Still just 3 league wins on the road all season. As there goes the referee's full-time whistle. A hugely important victory here for Scunthorpe United. Coming from behind to beat Altrincham by 2-1. Having come into this game on a run of just 1 victory from their last 8 league matches. A crucial 3 points to stop the rot and to maintain that cushion to the sides outside of the National League top 7. The Iron had trailed by 1-0 at the break. Lucas Weaver giving the visitors the lead, but the Iron hit back. The first goal for the club for Joe Starbuck in the 64th minute, hammering home from the edge of the penalty area on the inside right channel, and the winner coming in stoppage time from the substitute, Alfie Beeston, going solo, took it upon himself to drive at the Altrincham back line, and from 20 yards out, he smashed it into the back of the net. What a relief that will be for Andy Butler and his players. They're the ones to score a late goal and get victory here at Glanford Park. They've beaten Altrincham by 2-1. Steve Torpey.
Yeah, I think it's well deserved. I didn't think they played too bad. Scunthorpe, I thought they dominated the first half, got done with a sucker punch in the first half, conceding that goal. And then you just think, come on, it started the second half really slowly, which worried me a little bit, but then made some substitutions. Pat Jones coming on this left-hand side, that energy, that directness, and then the other substitutions, especially with Ollie Ewing, looked to get back to his best over the recent weeks. That's the best I've seen him perform. And then Alfie Beeston coming on and scoring a tremendous win. I think it's a massive win, like you say, Ollie. I think they needed that for individuals as well. Alfie Beeston, who's been on the touchline and not had much game time and started many games, as well as Joe Starbuck, who's had a bit of an indifferent, looked a little bit lacking in confidence, and that goal will give him a massive boost for both of them, and it'd be a massive boost for the club in general, because that is a massive 3 points for me.
Pat Jones has been shoved towards the Doncaster Road end by Ollie Ewing to celebrate with the home supporters. 3 fist bumps cheered by the home fans. Have your say on BBC Radio Humberside Sport as Alfie Beeston collects the match sponsors Player of the Game award. You can chat to James Hogarth up until 8 o'clock tonight on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Call 08000 66 5959. The text number 81333. Start your message with the letters RH. At Humberside Sport, get in touch on X using that handle. The WhatsApp number 08000 321 333, and our email address is humberside.sport@bbc.co.uk. We'll get more thoughts from the former Iron striker Steve Torpey in a moment, but full time here at Glanford Park as we hand back to James Hogarth. It finishes Scunthorpe United 2, Altrincham 1.
Thank you, Ollie. Finally, all smiles leaving Glanford Park tonight, and finally all smiles on BBC Radio Humberside and what has been a relatively dismal day, unless you're a Hull Kingston Rovers fan. Super Saturday didn't really work out as planned, but there was a Super Saturday finish to Scunthorpe United's 2-1 victory against Altrincham tonight. Let's hear from you, whoever you support. But if you're leaving Glanford Park, we'd like to hear from you. You can text 81333. Start the message with the letters RH. You can WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Share your thoughts on whoever you support this evening. Love to hear from you. Before we go back to Steve Torpey, get reflection on that victory for Scunthorpe United, and hopefully we'll get live reaction from manager Andy Butler before the end of the programme. Let me bring you the full-time scores in football today, apart from one game that kicks off a bit later on. In the Premier League, Burnley 0, AFC Bournemouth 0, Sunderland 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Arsenal 2, Everton 0 is still in play into the 8th minute of added time in that game for the Gunners. And Max Dowman, who is one of the youngest players to ever play for Arsenal, has scored in, both goals actually coming in the 89th minute, and Max Dowman's case scoring 7 minutes into added time. Newcastle still lead at Chelsea. The game between West Ham and Manchester City is an 8 o'clock kickoff. Match of the day, by the way, BBC One and the BBC iPlayer at 10:20 tonight. In the Championship, Coventry 1, Southampton 2, Middlesbrough 1, Bristol City 1, Oxford 1, Charlton Athletic 1, Birmingham City 1, Sheffield United 1, Leicester City 1, Queen's Park Rangers 3, Millwall 1, Blackburn Rovers 2, Norwich City 2, Preston North End 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Ipswich Town 2, Stoke City 3, Watford 1 and West Bromwich Albion 3, Hull City 0. Further reaction between now and 8 o'clock. In League One, Lincoln City 3, Stockport County 1. Lincoln now unbeaten in 20 games. Rotherham United 2, Bolton Wanderers 2, Doncaster Rovers 2, Blackpool 1, Exeter City 0, Cardiff City 4, Leyton Orient 2, Peterborough United 1, Mansfield Town 2, Barnsley 2, Northampton Town 0, Burton Albion 2, Port Vale and Huddersfield was goalless, Reading 2, Plymouth Argyle 2, Stevenage 1, AFC Wimbledon 0, Wigan Athletic 2, Bradford City 0, and Wycombe Wanderers 1, Luton Town 2. Into League 2, Harrogate Town 0, Salford City 1, Notts County 2, Chesterfield 3, Barnet 1, Newport County 2, goalless Barrow and Accrington, Bromley 1, Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge United 5, Gillingham 0, Crewe Alexandra 0, Walsall 3, Fleetwood Town and Tranmere was goalless, Oldham Athletic 1, Grimsby Town 0, Shrewsbury Town 0, Cheltenham Town 2, Swindon Town 1, Milton Keynes Dons 2. And finally into the National League, Wealdstone 5, Solihull Moors 1, Aldershot Town 0, York City 3, Boston United 2, Yeovil 1, Brackley 1, Woking 4, Gateshead and Sutton United 1 apiece, Halifax Town 3, Boreham Wood 2, Southend United 2, Forest Green Rovers 0, Tamworth 2, Carlisle 1, Truro City 0, Hartlepool United 1, Eastleigh 1, Rochdale 3, Morecambe and Braintree finished 1-1, and the game that we're focused on, Scunthorpe United 2, Altrincham 1. Let's return to Glanford Park and Steve Torpey. What's the overriding emotion, Steve, from this game tonight? Is it more a sense of relief than euphoria that they've avoided defeat after being one behind and finally got that victory that was so needed?
Yeah, I think so, James. I think it was a good performance. First half was okay, they did okay, but they got done on the sucker punch. I think they only had one attempt on goal, Altrincham, and it ended up in the back of the net. So you feel the worst, and then they come out second half a little bit slow getting out the blocks. But then Andy Butler he started to make some substitutions, brought on Pat Jones at half time and Alfie Beast and made all 5 changes, and I would say they all had an impact, probably apart from Ross Burrows who come on the last minute. But yeah, it's more relief, I think. But I think looking back, this will go down as a massive win to secure that black playoff spot. I know there's still 9 games to go in single figures, but those games will start coming thick and fast, especially over the Easter period. And I just think this was a real big win for Andy Butler and the team.
Yeah, this from Joe B, who's an Iron fan, says a smash and grab, but nice to be on the positive end of a 90-plus goal. As Andy Butler said in midweek, all that matters now is getting the points on the board, but the performance not where it needed to be again. Hurst isn't at the level and needs to go back, and sadly Boise is over the cliff now. Starbuck maybe needs converting to a right winger, as he had a decent he was decent going forward in the second half, which made up for some more shoddy defensive work again. We definitely need to strengthen at the back if we have any chance of in the playoffs, but we'll move on to the party in Cornwall on Tuesday night. Up the iron, says Joe B. You've got the warmth of the studio and Ollie on Tuesday night, Steve, haven't you? Let's talk about this Joe Starbuck goal. You were both checking your spreadsheets for the last time that he scored, and it was his first Scunthorpe United goal. He said to me a few weeks ago, that was one area that he wanted to improve on, but he's finally got his first goal for Scunthorpe United.
Yeah, and what a goal it was! It was a great strike, just inside the